everyone. I am so excited to be able to share our October net worth update with you today. There are a couple things I'm really excited to show you, and then there's one that's not so fun. But our promise to you is to always be transparent. So we share the good, the bad, and the ugly. Hey everybody, I am Wendy. I am the founder of the House of Fi, and we are all about helping moms and dads on the road to financial independence to save more, spend less, build wealth, and do it all while living a joy-filled life. If you're new here, welcome to our house. And if you're returning, we are so glad you're here. We do these net worth updates for a couple of reasons, but the big reason is one, we want to help other moms and dads who were maybe like us and didn't have the financial education growing up, that they started saving late in life, or they started saving with a ton of debt and just felt super behind and never thought that they would be able to get out from under it. We have been on this journey for a little over 5 years now, and as you'll see when I pull everything up on the screen, we have made significant progress in that time. We started at $1 million in debt, over $1 million in debt. And since that time, we've been saving like crazy. We save about 30% of our income, and that is while living in San Diego, so one of the higher cost of living cities in the nation. We are a one-income household. My husband is a teacher, and we have a large family. We have 6 children. 5 of them are living at home. So if we can do it, you can do it. And so that's why we share these. We want to provide you with encouragement and show you some of the things that we have done that have helped us get to where we are right now, and hopefully on the road to $1 million in our savings and investments. All right, let's just get right to it. Let's pull up my screen. All right, we're going to start with our assets. And we began this journey, as I said a few moments ago, back in 2016. However, we did not start tracking our journey until May of 2017. And at that time, as you can see, we really had nothing but our house. We have since sold that house, but at the time, that is all that we had. We had just started putting money into my husband's retirement down here, but other than that, we had nothing. We had no savings. We had nothing, no investments, nothing in retirement for me. We really were in a pretty scary situation. A financial catastrophe happened. We would have been in a really bad place. As I said, we have since sold our house. We sold that house a little over 2 years ago now. We took out the profit from that house and we did several things for that. We paid off all of our consumer debt, and then we used the remainder of the money to buy some investment properties that cash flow for us. So our house is at a zero. This right here, the $175,000, those are the 5 rentals that we own in the Midwest. Each one of them cost us on average about $25,000. So as you can see, we do have some equity in there, and they are cash flowing. So they're doing what we purchased them to do. So we're happy about that. Last month, our after-tax and savings account was at $29,000. We have a small little IRA for me. We're focusing on Curtis's just because most of his is through payroll reduction anyway. So we're just doing a little bit. Once we do a couple more things, we'll probably start putting more into mine. But for right now, just a little bit here and there. And then last month, Kurt's retirement was at $142,000. He's very lucky as a teacher because he has not only the pension fund that he puts into every month, but he has the ability to use a 457 as well as a 403B. And we are putting money into both of those. We haven't quite been able to max out those yet, just because we are living on one income, but we are putting a significant amount in there every single month. And then as you can see, the values on the rental properties are holding. We did go up quite a bit in our after-tax account to $31,818. A lot of that was the market, but we've also been contributing fairly regularly here and there to those after tax accounts. And then a little bit of a gain in my IRA, and then in Kurt's retirements, that went up to $145,872 for a total increase for 1 month of $6,100, almost $6,200. I love it. I am so happy to see things are starting to happen. The power of compound interest is happening, the power of time, and the power of consistency. Those three things are the magic ingredients to increasing your cash and cash equivalents. All right, then let's go down now to our liabilities. All right, so down here, that's that big over $1 million in debt that we started with. A big chunk of it was our house. Another big chunk of it was credit card debt and vehicles. And then we had our student loans. And then the last big one was an old IRS debt at almost $54,000. That is from an old IRS taxes when I had my practice. When I first started my practice, we weren't withholding the right amount. We thought we could do it on our own without a CPA. That was a big mistake. So for a couple years there, we got big tax bills at the end, and that accumulated to about $80,000. So even there, it had gone down quite significantly. We've been paying on that regularly. We'll talk more about that in just a second when we see the balances, the current balance. So yeah, over $1 million in debt in 2017. Last month, we have these two mortgages right here. The $18,000 is the fifth property. It has its own mortgage, and then the four other properties are in a commercial note, and last month those were almost $65,000. Our student loans are staying where they are because currently they're at 0% interest because of the CARES Act. That is going to stop in January, so we're gearing up for that. Both of these are on income-based repayment, so we keep the payments as low as possible. For my husband, we will be doing the PSLF program, so 10 years of service-oriented employment. So he's a teacher. After 120 payments of, as long as you're in the right type of loan and the right type of job that has been certified, then you can track those payments and get those down to zero, and then the remainder is forgiven. You will get taxed on whatever the remainder is as income. So always be ready for that. And if you are going to take advantage of the PSLF program, make sure that you have accounted for that and maybe kept funds in an account somewhere to offset any tax liability that results from that being forgiven. As a reminder, I am not a financial advisor, so this is not financial advice. This is for education purposes and entertainment purposes only. And if you have questions, you have to do your own due diligence. So this right here is my husband's, and then this one right here is mine. We will be keeping mine as low as possible and doing those on a slow pay. Those will be forgiven after 20 and 25 years of payments. All right, so last month I talked about old IRS debt being forgiven because of a statute of limitations. I had seen a nice over $2,000 reduction from the previous month in August, and I did a little research, and we did hit the 10-year mark on a small portion of that money, and so that's why I thought the balance had gone down. As you can see, if we hop on over here to, oops, this should say October. To October's, it went back up again. I don't know why. I have to do a little bit more research, and I'm assuming based on the research that I've done so far, they can extend the 10-year statute of limitations period with installment agreements. And that's what we have is an installment agreement. So I think built into the installment agreement is the waiver of the statute of limitations. They can only waive it up to 6 years, but we're within that. So I'm thinking the computer system maybe took it off, and then maybe it goes through some sort of review and a person looked at it and corrected it because of the waiver. I don't know. I'm just guessing. At some point, I'll get through to a person and talk to them and figure out if indeed that is what happened. And if there's anything that I can do about it. I'm still really happy with the balance. The fact that it's just over $10,000 when it started at $80,000. No matter what, we should be rid of that probably within the next year. All right, so slight decrease in the fifth properties mortgage, slight decrease in the commercial note. These are holding steady. So because of that adjustment, we have a negative here of $1,775 for an increase in our liabilities. So not happy about that. So let's move on to our overall numbers. This is why I am so stinking happy. We began this journey with a negative net worth of basically $350,000. We are now under a negative net worth of $100,000, which is still a lot. But just to see that go down to under $100,000, I think that's exciting. And I can't wait to see how quickly that we can get that down. So we had an overall positive change for October of $4,393, which again, I am not upset about it. It could have been more, but I'm happy. I'm happy about it. I'm happy it's positive. I'm happy that it's several $1,000s. So no complaints here. All right. And then the final metric and the other thing that I'm really, really excited about is what we would like to have eventually is over $1 million in cash and cash equivalents. So we've started tracking that. If you look down to our first $100,000, we reached that a year ago in October of last year. It took us from the time we started to that point 4 years and 10 months to get our first $100,000. We are only $21,553 away from our second $100,000. So we are getting super, super close to that. I cannot wait to see how quickly that we get from there, and then from there to 200, from 200,000 to 300,000. I think this is exciting to watch and see how short the time frame becomes as we save more money, because again, interest is doing its work. So yeah, I'm really excited about those numbers. Really quick video just to share where we are with our net worth. We have some fun videos coming up. I want to do a video on cryptocurrency because a very, very small portion of our balances is in cryptocurrency. So I want to talk a little bit about that as a beginner, as well as someone who is just new to investing overall. So I think that'll be a fun video. So if you haven't subscribed, why don't you go ahead and do that now, and then also ring that notifications bell so you get notified when we have new videos. Thanks for coming, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.